Hey everyone, I'm Brian,
I'm Laura.
and we wanted to take you on a little bit of a journey with us. About 13 years ago, we decided we wanted to get another little place that we could go and to cooler temperatures. And we stumbled upon something that we thought was going to be pretty cool, but then we were faced with a decision. Do we destroy it, burn it, and rebuild, or do we restore it? The property had a structure on it that was built in 1875, and unfortunately, it had been in a lot of disrepair, which we'll talk about in later videos.
I've always loved old homes, and so that's what I was looking for, something that we could put our own touch to and make it our own.
I'm the worker, she's the creative side.
I have the ideas and I say, hey, what about this? Sometimes it takes them a while to come around, but if I just slowly push them a little bit at a time, it usually happens.
But you need to understand something. I'm not a craftsman. I work in IT. I am not a carpenter. I'm not an electrician. I'm not a plumber. I'm not anything. I'm just an average guy. And thank goodness for YouTube, I can learn to do some things, like probably many of you. And so as we take you on this journey, you're going to find that, you may have some different ideas of the way you may have done things, but, we had a budget, limited knowledge, little experience, and we tried to do the best that we could based on the decision that we came up with. So stick around to the end and see how it all turns out. Welcome to Maggie's Cottage. Hey everyone, so we wanted to kind of show you some clips of the home and the transition from what it was when we bought it to what it is more like today. But we were looking for a home. We wanted to try to get into some cooler temperatures, and my wife went on the internet and started taking a look at different places, and she found this place. And that picture at the beginning where the roof was off.
When I saw the picture, I was so excited because it looked like a cool place and it was inexpensive. But I thought he for sure was going to say, "What? You're crazy." But he didn't. He said, "Well, maybe we should take a look at it."
Yeah, it was so funny. She showed me that clip, I think almost as a joke, that picture. And I said, honey, that's the one. And so we immediately started to make some phone calls. And to make a long story short, after communicating with the owners, we came to find out that they had sold the home. But we had already made plans to go up to the area to take a look at it. So we thought, well, we'll go and take a look and see if there's some other homes to see.
So we were looking around at other homes and there was nothing that we liked. And he said, let's drive by and see. We drove by the home and they were actually they had torn the roof off, the rest of the roof, because most of the roof was already off. And he said, let's go in. And I said, no, I don't want to go in and talk to them. I was just too sad because I knew it had sold and it wasn't ours.
Yeah, so I went up and talked to the individual that was standing outside, and I said, hey, is this your home? Did you buy it, or are you just working on it? And he said, well, both. And I told him our story about, what we were doing, and he looked at me and he said, you know what? I'll sell it to you right now for exactly what I paid for it, plus the materials for the roof, and I'll finish the roof up for you. And I looked at him and I went, what? And I shook his hand. I said, sold. And I waved to my wife, and she was a little hesitant, but came up, and I said, honey, we just bought this home.
So we went in, started walking through, and I started crying. I was so excited to see all of the original features that were still in the home, the high baseboards, the high ceilings. It was in bad shape, of course, and I wasn't crying because of what it looked like. I was crying because I was so excited, and I just knew that this was our place.
It's so funny, and I'm sure many of you have probably had similar experiences when you've taken on a project similar to this, is you look at it, and I don't know if they're rose-colored glasses or what you want to call it, but you begin to kind of see what it can be as opposed to what it is. And it's so funny because anybody else that we knew, family members or friends that looked at it, immediately had this idea that it's a waste of time, it's a waste of money, You know, one of them said, burn it down. and, and we thought, no, there's something we can do.
Look at that door right there in the kitchen. Isn't that amazing? When I saw that and the transoms and the wainscoting around the kitchen, I was so full of joy. It was so beautiful. And the built-in in the kitchen to the right, and then the front door with the stained glass.
Yeah, there's that built-in. And yeah, I mean, I think Laura appreciated it probably more than me as far as that aspect of it, the features and things that were there. But and that's the mudroom, and it was just in complete
And if
disarray.
you see the little room right there, it was kind of spooky. It looked like something from a horror movie, but we will do a video later showing you what we did to transform that.
Yeah, I think when I looked at that wall, my thought came to X-Files. That looked like something out of X-Files with like a spaceship
But
landing
look
on
at
the other
that
side.
door. That door was amazing that was on it. And a mudroom.
Which, growing up in the desert where I grew up, the mudroom, I had no idea what that was. But as you'll see in the transformation, it actually turned into something quite usable. But that little room we just showed you off the mudroom, we'll have a later video where we'll show you what we transformed that into.
Look at the laugh. There were tons of layers of wallpaper in the living room, which I'm standing in right now too. And I saved a little piece, which could have been the original wallpaper. It's amazing. Those floors, we sanded those. They were amazing oak, small strip floors. Beautiful.
So anyway, yeah, when we bought the home, you know, obviously we went in and we started to clean up, and silly me, again, as you learned at the beginning of the video, you know, not a craftsman, right? Not somebody that has worked construction or anything like that, thinking, oh yeah, I can take care of this. I can fix this thing up. I had no clue what I was getting myself into, but fortunately we were able to solicit the help of a handyman that lived in the town where the home was, and oh my gosh, he was absolutely brilliant in everything he did.
This is the door to the cellar. It is spooky down there. Our grandkids think it's a kind of scary place.
It's interesting because when you go down there, you see the original rock foundation, right? That they built the original piece of the house on, and it's pretty interesting to see that.
One thing I love about the house was that it had a lot of the original doors and hardware, some amazing hardware throughout the house. Glass knobs somewhere, metal knobs, beautiful.
Yeah, it was neat. So this is the home as we saw it when we bought it. They were beginning to put the new roof on. It sat without a roof, if you can believe it, for 2.5 years. Now, the climate of this home, they get winter. So they get snow in the wintertime and rain and such. So, you know, it was not in a good place without a roof on it for a while.
That was the coal shed that you just saw. We will transform that in a video also.
So here now you're going to be able to see some before and after pictures of the what we call, I guess, the living room or family room, and you can see now what it looks like with the transformation.
We refinished the oak floors. They turned out really nice.
Yeah, basically I just rented a sander and sanded it all down and refinished it. This is the kitchen area here, and I had some people help put some sheetrock up. It was bigger than we could handle. But
There it is. We did have to put some new floor eventually in the kitchen. The other had some burn marks, and it was really rough for our little grandchildren's feet, so we did have to put some other floor eventually in there.
so this big room here is the one that has the nice big molding, the lime molding up along the top there, crown molding. It's really quite a room, and we turned this into a room where with a lot of beds, because we have 14 grandchildren and 4 children and their spouses, and they like to come and visit.
We're still working on the crown molding to repair that. We have not found anyone that knows how to work that yet, so I'm learning how, so maybe someday we'll do that and I'll do a video on that.
Yeah, so this is the bedroom, the master bedroom, if you will, that we generally stay in, and then now you're looking at some of the rooms in the little pantry area in the bathroom area, kind of looking down that, what kind of almost is like a long hall, but it's really not a hall. There's the tub covered up, looking into our bedroom, and you can kind of see where we put some flooring in, got a washer and dryer in there, and finish that up. There's one bathroom, but it's a pretty good sized bathroom, and we're able to make it work.
This is what we call the parlor. There are actually 2 front doors to this home, which is typical of these older homes, and that has one of them in there.
And as you can see, we have a lot of beds, and that's really because we like to have our children and our grandchildren come and spend time up at the home.
This is the mud room. It was in pretty bad shape. Had just a cement floor.
But look at that. I mean, I've never had a mudroom before, but look at how that turned out. And that door you see there, that door is well over 100 years old. It belonged to my wife's...
Great-great-great-grandmother.
Yeah. Who actually lived in a home about 20 miles from this place. Who knew? And so it's kind of interesting how all of it all just works out. And here's the yard. So from the exterior views of what it looked like. And interestingly, on the grass, all I did was got the sprinkler system working and put some water on the grass, and it started to grow. All right, so there you have it. You know, just give you kind of a basic idea of the transformation of the house. But we've got some future videos that will be coming.
We'll be sharing some videos of the transformation of the mud room, my she shed, the little scary room we call the annex, and I love old vintage trailers, and we'll share those with you as well.
So if you like what you see, hit the subscribe button, like, comment, and we'll look forward to seeing you again in future videos. But as for now, goodbye from Maggie's Cottage.